Hi, my name is Claire. Welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I'm going to be doing 4 tiny homes in the world of Mount Komorebi. For this build, I'm only going to be using the Snowy Escape expansion pack, and this home or homes are built in the world of Mount Komorebi, which came with the Snowy Escape expansion pack. So we're first going to be starting off the 4 units with the light wood tone unit. I based each unit off of the wood tones in the unit. So, like I said, this is the light wood tone unit, and each unit does have a similar floor plan. I did try to make things a little bit different with each of these units. So for example, this unit has shelves on the entry area, but I do end up replacing the shelves with a bookshelf from the base game, and now we're just going to be adding a little shoe rack because this is built in the world of Mount Komorebi and it is Japan inspired. I wanted to have this little separation area to keep the shoes in this entryway area and have the rest of the home your Sims will be wearing slippers in. So now we are in the kitchen, and I love using these counters for this build because of the under counter storage, so your Sims can still prepare food where there are items underneath the counter, so it still gives that cluttered kitchen look, but it still also gives the Sims opportunity to prepare food in their kitchen. So we're just going to be decorating these under cabinet shelves. Each unit is 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, so I didn't clutter those counters up a lot because I'm like, this is only for one Sim. They're not having a big huge party in this tiny little unit, so we are just going to be adding another little counter and garbage can on the side of the oven, and we're just going to be figuring out what to do with this hallway space. My first thought was to put a dresser on the hallway space, but I decided to not do that in this unit, instead have a dining table area. So did remind me of this Japanese restaurant I saw online where it is perfect for an introvert. You just sit at a bar, and then in front of you there is a curtain that they roll up and down to deliver your food, and you don't have to talk to anybody. It's, like I said, perfect for an introvert. So we are just going to be adding a few desk items because I was originally thinking that this could be a computer spot, but it does end up staying a dining area. And now we're just going to be working on the bathroom, which is a very simple bathroom. It is a 2x2 bathroom, and I know in Japan that they like to separate the toilet from the rest of the space. Unfortunately, I did not have enough space to do that, so it's kind of like a wet room area. And if you do want more space in the bathroom, you can get rid of the sink, and then the sink in the kitchen can be both the bathroom sink and the kitchen sink. So I'm just going to be adding all of the necessary things in here. You'll see this 2 more times in this video because I did it pretty much the exact same. I wanted this neighborhood to be kind of like the same builder built the same house 4 times, and so I wanted to have separation or distinction between each space with the wood tones and a little bit of personality differences in each of these units. So for this bedroom, I was mentioning a girl would possibly be in this space, and it has pink and purple, kind of more pretty attire than maybe more of a rustic style or a masculine style in another unit. So we're just going to be adding a floor length mirror. Technically, these bedrooms are on the first level. I just put the wall height at medium, and then I raised up the bedroom level to give it a little bit more distinction between the bedroom and the rest of the area. So we're just going to be adding another little pink bonsai tree and going to be working on the shelf units a little bit more. So we are just going to also go to the dresser area in the bedroom, and I did want to have some sort of fun entertainment feature in each of these units, and so I realized that this TV can perfectly be placed on the dresser, so your sim has a little bit of a living room area up here. They're probably going to be lounging on the bed as they watch TV, but I thought that was like kind of a fun feature, was to like have that on the dresser instead of making like a proper living room space. And so we are done with the light wood tone unit, and we're going to be going into the gray unit. So this gray unit is kind of more modern because it is gray, white, and black in this space, and we're just going to be starting off with a little front patio space. I was imagining that this sim wouldn't be introvert, but they would constantly be on the go. They would like never really be home, and so we are just going to be now on the inside, going to be working on the entryway area. So like the first unit, this home also has like a step up to get to the main portion of the home, and I wanted to go for a little bit darker tones in the kitchen to again distinguish this kitchen from the previous kitchen we saw. So we're just going to be also adding the same shelf unit. Again, I thought this would be like the same builder built all four of these homes, aka I am the builder, but I wanted this to feel like a neighborhood, and if you have gone to a neighborhood where all of the homes are built by the same company, you would see like, oh, that house looks like that house, it's just the roof line's different. Or like, oh, that house has the same windows and doors as the other house, it must be the same builder. So that's what I was trying to go for in this home or on this lot. So we're just going to be adding a little bit of decorations in the kitchen and going to be working on the mudroom area some more, and going to be adding another little like shoe rack. I was mentioning a male sim would be in this home just because of the shoes, basically only because I put the male shoes on the little shoe rack. And now we're going to be designing the same bathroom as you saw in the first unit. We do have a little bit of difference in this bathroom, mostly with the color tone. I wanted the color tones to match the rest of this unit, and so we do have a towel rack above the toilet, which we don't have in the first unit you saw, and we're just going to be heading to the floor and a half now. I wanted to go for more of a darker color scheme in this bedroom, and so I have a picture frame TV for the fun slash entertainment feature, and we're just going to be adding a side table and going to be adding a lot of mountain inspired artwork in this unit because I was imagining that this sim would be a mountain climber, and that's why they're not really home at this home a lot, is because they're mostly spending their days climbing mountains and exploring, and so that's why there's a lot of mountain inspired artwork and different items to show that they like to climb mountains. So before we go into the back two units, I wanted to do a little like meditation zen rock garden in between of these units, and I have it on both sides of the lot, so it's very symmetrical that way. I've been watching a lot of chateau videos, and there's this one chateau video where they have like a very symmetrical chateau, and so I feel like that's kind of been bleeding into my own builds, is like having a lot of symmetrical builds. So we're just going to be now working in the darker wood tone home and going to be just doing what I have done in the previous homes. I do want to mention that the ladder in all four of the units is the same color, which is black. For some reason, the ladder had a weird shadow to it, and so like half it was black and like half it was like the color that matched the unit, and I didn't really like that with all of the units, and so I decided to have a little bit of consistency, and so all of the ladders to get to the bedroom are all black, which doesn't really matter, but I just thought it would be good to mention. This home doesn't have like a shoe like drop zone area, but it does have like a little like side table with a drop zone area. So we're just going to be making sure that there is enough room for the Sims to cook in this kitchen, and going to me adding some upper storage with the shelves. I didn't want to add any traditional cabinets in the units because I felt like they're small already. I don't want them to feel even more claustrophobic. So that's why each unit does have a shelf where the kitchen is instead of having like upper counter storage. So we're just going to be adding some plates, and I realized I added way too many plates because this is still a one bedroom, one bathroom home, and we're just going to be now in the bathroom of this unit, and I wanted the tile to also kind of represent that each unit is a little bit different. It is the same tile pattern as the other four units, but each unit matches the color tones of the unit, if that makes sense. So we're just going to be adding some towels underneath the sink, and going to be adding a like a bath towel or a body towel by the toilet, and going to be adding just a few more little quick things. Make sure that I got everything in that bathroom, and now we are going to be working on a hallway space to the bedroom. And when I was like originally planning out this video, I was a little bit naive and thought I would have enough room to fit a living room in between of the bedroom and the kitchen. I was wrong. I could not fit a bed or like a TV living room area in between of those two spaces, but I did give this sim a musical interest with the guitar, and you do see a violin, but I end up getting rid of the violin because this is such a tiny space and I needed more room for more functional items, and so we're just going to be now working on the bedroom space, and I go with this kind of cool blue tone bedding, and I was trying to fit a desk up in this loft space. That was like kind of my one original idea for this space, but I did not end up working out. So I just have a dresser down here on the first floor, which does get moved up here to the 4.5. So we are just going to be adding a dresser, and I was still trying to figure out if I could make the desk work, but it just didn't really work. I knew by looking at it that it wouldn't be functional for the Sims to live in, so we're just going to be adding a lamp on the desk, and I did add a little bit of mountain inspired artwork for this unit. I was kind of imagining that this sim might be a student who is studying abroad, and that's solely because I know that the Coach brand is a American brand, or I assume it's American brand, and I put a Coach bag on the entryway table. I am not a luxury purse or brand type of girl, so I might be wrong. Coach might not even be an American brand, but that's what I was kind of like imagining for this sim that would be in this unit. And we're just going to be finishing off the unit with some planter boxes in the front of the home. And now we are going to be heading into the red unit, which is our last unit. So just a little bit more until the screenshots of the video, and we're just going to be starting off by adding a rug into the entryway and going to be adding some white appliances into the kitchen, because I thought if I added the red ones it would look like too much red, too intense. So I wanted to kind of calm it down with the white appliances, and we're just going to be testing out this other color tone, but the orange was clashing with the red, so we keep it back to the white countertops and appliances. So we're just now going to be adding a security system. I don't know if you noticed this, but each unit does have its own security system. I just thought that would just kind of be fun and make this neighborhood look like it's like its own separate units instead of one big lot. Well, big lot is kind of a stretch. This is built on a 20x15 lot, so we're just going to be adding a dresser down here on the first level, and going to be adding a few decorative items onto the shelves that came with the countertops. I didn't realize how useful these countertops are until I was doing this tiny home build. I feel like if I ever did a build where I needed to do a small build, I would use these countertops because it does have that like storage decorative items while still making the countertops functional. So like we did with the darker wood tone home, this home also has a table for a drop zone. I was kind of mentioning that shoes would go inside of the door of the side table, so we're just going to be finishing up the first floor area and going up here to the 4.5, where again it is a bedroom up here, and I decided to go with the picture frame TV up here and going to be adding a side table. I kept the side table and the bed frame in this nice red color, so we're just going to be adding some decals to give this sim a little bit of personality, and that is a skier would be in this unit. And so I have a little like coat rack with all their ski equipment. I have a ski picture above the bed, very ski inspired. I feel like the blue kind of helped with that ski inspiredness with the color, and we're just going to be adding a little computer area up here. I wanted to use this computer in particular because it looks like a iPad almost, where it like has like a special stand to keep it propped up. But we are now getting close to the end of the video, so I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. It really does help my channel grow, and I just want to say a big thank you to those who have hit the subscribe button. I can't say how much that means to me to see this little channel grow. And so if you enjoyed watching, make sure to hit the like button. These things really do help more people see my content. And if you have any build suggestions for me, make sure to leave them down in the comments. I post new videos every single Tuesday, and if you want to play in this home, you can find all the information down in the description. My gallery ID is green_rose_sims, and I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. Bye!